So if you've seen our earlier videos of data interpretation series, we have discussed about a piece of information. There are two shops in a town, their individual sales over the last 5 years, and how it would look like in a tabular form. So let's put this into a pie chart. So for pie chart, we need to create two different pie charts for both the shops. And how exactly do we create this? I'll come to that. So this is the piece of information I have. So if you see, pie chart is basically done through the angle. That is, what will be the entire angle made by a circle? 360 degrees, right around the center, the central angle, right? So if I know the individual, share of this 360 degrees, I'll use that angle. For example, let's talk about this 250. So how would I know its share in this 360 degrees? It will be 250 by the sum of all the values, right? That is all of these values. For shop here, the total is 300 plus 200, 550, 950, 1150, 1250. Right, so 250 by 1250 is the share of this 360 degrees. The fraction of 360 degrees that this part will take is 250 by 1250. That's 1 by 5, 72. So this angle will be 72 degrees. What about 400? 400 by 1250 into 360. Right, so it will be approximately 25 5s are 25, 16s are, right? 5 3s are, so approximately 108. It will be slightly more than that, but I'm just approximating it to 108 degrees. Then similarly, what about 200? 200 would be approximately 54 degrees. Same 200 by 1250. Similarly, 100 will be 27 degrees, and this will be 81 degrees. Okay, let me write outside 81 degrees. That is how we calculate, that is how the pie chart gets constructed. The logic that it is 360 degrees. Similarly, for this also, I just need to sum them up. 550, 750, 940, 400, 1300. And individual angles, this will be 200 by 1300 into 360 degrees, and that will be the angle made at the center. So that will be how the shares will be calculated for each part. 300 by 1300 into 360, etc. So again, the logic, read the title, read these legends or legends. So this says the dark blue, this is for 2015, the green is 2016, and so on, right? I just need to be able to pick it. So if I ask you for shop B in 2019, how many units did it sell? 400. For shop A in 2017, how many units did it sell? That's orange or brownish, so I'll pick this 400. Now that's how I read these pie charts. Sometimes I might not see the absolute values, I might see the angles, I might see percentages. I'll get into that. Let's look at this in the next slide. So pie charts can be represented by the absolute values, the percentages, or the angles. If you see the same piece of information, shop A in 2015 it sold 300, 16, 250, 417, 218, and 119. These are the actual values that are being sold in units. I can give that as percentages. Right, what will be the percentage of 300? 300 by the sum, if you remember, it's 1250 into 100. Right, this will be closer to, you see this, 25 5s are 25 4s are, right? So it's 120 by 5, that is 24%. That is what the percentage is. For this, 250 by 1250 into 100 will be 20%. Similarly, 400 is 32, 16, 8. So these are the individual percentages. So you might get to see a pie chart only talking in percentages. If I ask you from this pie chart alone, how many units did shop A sell in 2015? I cannot give you the actual answer. All I can say is, 24% of the total sales in 5 years is the number of sales units sold by shop A in 2015. I only know that. I cannot know the actual value as 300 unless I know the total value. Keep that in mind. If the pie chart is talking in percentages, I need to have some clue to figure out what is the total value so that I can find out the individual absolute values. These are just the percentages. I know that out of 100% it is 20%. If my total value is 300 units, I would have sold 60 units. If my total value is 1250, I would have sold 250 units. So this piece of information is required. Whereas if the pie chart is actually showing me the absolute values, I can straight away say that shop A in 2015 it sold 300, 215, 2016 and so on. What is the total value? I just need to sum them up. The third type is giving in angle values, right? So 72 degrees, 86.4 degrees, 28.8 degrees, 57.6 degrees, 115.2 degrees. All of these are basically giving in angles so that I can actually do the same thing. Let's say I tell you that the total value is 1250. Okay, the units sold by the shop A in all 5 years together is 1250 units. How many units did it sell in 2016? It is seeing 72 degrees here. So 72 degrees, the total is 360 degrees. Out of 360 degrees into 1250. 72 ones are 72 fives are 5 250s are. So it is 250 units. Right, same as how I will do for percentage. I know 20 percentage, 20 by 100 into total units is 1250. 21s are 25s are 5 250s are gives me total as 250 units. The same I do with the angles also. 72 degrees out of 360 degrees. 20 percentage out of 100, that's why it is 20 by 100. This is 72 by 360. That is how I calculate.